Hands behind your back, away from your back. No, behind your back, away.
No, stand up.
Stand up. Stand up.
Stand up.
Sure.
Can you stand
Stand
up?
up. All right. Hands behind your back. All happy?
Joining me now is Pastor Artur Pawlowski. He has been on the show before. What you just saw right there was a video of a pastor being placed in handcuffs on the airport tarmac for what? For violating Canada's COVID orders. Now, Pastor, we will get an update on everything that has happened since the last time we talked, but for those who missed it the first time, would you please lay out how all this began? How did you start getting crossways with the Canadian government?
Oh, well, that started in 2005, believe it or not, when the Canadian government came to our church announcing that giving free goods and services is actually against the law, believe it or not. If you don't have special permission from the mayor's office, you're not allowed to feed the poor. You're not allowed to distribute the Bibles. You're not allowed to congregate in public. I mean, total insanity. I started to fight with them and those illegal bylaws because we have something similar to what you have in the United States of America. The Constitution, we have Charter of Rights and Freedoms where it says, whereas Canada acknowledges the supremacy of God and the rule of law in the preamble. So we have a criminal code, we have Charter of Rights and Freedoms, human rights, and of course, under those laws, we are allowed to do what we have been doing. So I started to defy their tickets, their orders, and I became the first Canadian citizen to be arrested just a year later, 2006, for publicly, listen to this, reading the Bible. So I was caught in the act, if you will, and I was arrested, handcuffed by 7 police officers, and I faced a year prison for that crime. Fast forward, 10 years later, I won my trials, over 100 court cases, dozen arrests. They left me be to feed the poor, and that's what I do. Number of times a week, we feed the poor, we feed the mentally ill, we feed thousands of people on the streets of Calgary. That's what we do. We started over 40 ministries, just like this one, streetchurch.ca. If you want to see what we're doing all over the world, different continents. And 2020, March, the government found a new way to destroy us. And I received a letter from the City Hall telling me that I am not allowed anymore to feed the poor because we're in the middle of the greatest pandemic ever. Well, I argued with them. I said, okay, pandemia or not, those people need to eat. If I'm not going to give them the necessities of life, they're going to whack your father's head, your mother's, your grandma's. They'll bring into your cars, into your garages, into your homes. So, this way or that way, those people will get the necessities of life. Of course, the government disagreed with me, and I became the first Canadian citizen, a pastor, to get a COVID ticket. Since then, I got over 30 of them. Fast forward, we have been harassed, intimidated on a regular basis. So I went on television and I said, listen to me, you unessential services. We do not want you. You're useless. We will be better off without you. And I invited people to come to the biggest Christmas celebration in the country. So thousands of people showed up. We had AAA steaks. We had gifts for the homeless. We had Christmas carolers. And we also had over 20 police officers on bicycles, over 100 officers on foot, anti-terrorists, chief of police, and I end up with 15 more tickets. So imagine 52 police cars, over 100 officers, 20 cops on bicycles, chief of police, videotaping us, anti-terrorists in a peaceful assembly. And the politicians, just before they closed us as prisoners in our homes, they went vacationing to Florida, Hawaii, Europe, Barbados, you name it, after, of course, giving themselves a hefty paycheck. So we know that this has nothing to do with health. This is not about keeping people safe. This is about a totalitarian, globalistic takeover. I have been stopped in the middle of the highway with my brother David. Both of us were arrested for, listen to this, inciting people to come to church, officiating a church service, and participating in illegal gathering based on the order that has never been given to me. I and my brother David, we have been found guilty on contempt ×2, contempt of court order, and potentially tomorrow, October 13th, the judge can send us up to 4 years prison term for just simply being Christians.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the first on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.